Members of the audience, please stand and welcome Molalla High School staff members and the graduating class of 2021. You may be seated. Please welcome Senior Class President Lola McElhaney.
Welcome everyone to the 2021 Molalla High School graduation. If you'd all please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. My name is Lola McElhaney, and I'm the 2021 Senior Class President. To start off today, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. It's great that we can be here to celebrate our accomplishments with our families, teachers, administrators, peers, and friends. I'm sure that when we all started high school, we never thought our time would be cut short and we would miss out on most of our senior year. This past year has obviously been extremely difficult for everyone. While there was a lot that we did miss out on, I actually think that there was a lot that we gained. This past year has given us an opportunity to develop who we are and who we want to be. It's given us an opportunity to reflect on who is important in our lives. It's given us time to reflect on how we interact with others and what we value. When I talk with students and teachers, I see even more sides of how hard this year has been. Even though we've all struggled, we've all been able to come back to our little community of Molalla High School even stronger than before. Time and time again, Molalla has shown just how strong of a community we have. We see this community come together for Share the Love, raising over $129,000 this year for families in need. We saw it during the wildfires, when our town had to rapidly evacuate and our community members turned into firefighters for a few weeks. And we see that community today. We have all become an integral part of this town and have learned so much about what it means to be there for each other. I hope that no matter where we go after this, we all can remember what Molalla has taught us and share that with the world. I hope that you all will enjoy today. We will walk across the stage, get our diplomas, take plenty of pictures, and live out our final moments together as high school students. As we each pursue our own paths, no matter what that may look like, I wish everyone the best. So, thank you, everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2021. And I would now like to introduce our principal, Mr. Brzezinski.
Thank you, Lola. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2021 Molalla High School commencement. My name is Brad Brzezinski, principal of Molalla High School. I'd like to extend a special welcome to the family, friends, staff members, school board members, Superintendent Mann, and most importantly, to these amazing young men and women that are sitting in front of us today. It feels good to be gathered like this as a school community. It's been a long time since we've been able to come together like this. It also feels good to have the sun shining on us. Students can tell you yesterday we had got a little wet at practice yesterday. I'll take this weather any day. Today's a day of celebration. It's also a day to recognize the hard work and perseverance of these students. Of course, there are many people who have paved the way for the success that these students have had. Many of those people are sitting here with us today. Parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, teachers, coaches, and many more. While the focus today is on our graduating seniors, today is also a celebration of all that you have done to support these graduating seniors and guide these students to the path they are on today. For that, I want to say thank you. These students would not be sitting here today without the tremendous support you all have provided. There's no question it's been a tough year. But, as Lola said, in my opinion, there's been too much focus on the negative, on the opportunities lost. Let's not lose sight of the opportunities gained. I firmly believe that tremendous learning has taken place in these last 15 months. Maybe not in the same way as we've traditionally defined it, but not all learning takes place sitting in a classroom. These students have developed skills and knowledge during the last year that will carry them forward and make them even more prepared to face life's challenges. I have no doubt that the graduates sitting in front of you today are destined for great things. I'd like to take a few minutes today to recognize our valedictorian, salutatorian, and to present the Principal's Award. The valedictorian and salutatorian are calculated at the end of our second trimester of the senior year and are based on weighted GPA and recognize the top 2 GPAs in the senior class. This year's valedictorian is Sierra White. Sierra? Sierra finished her high school career with a weighted GPA of over 4.38. Sierra will be attending Portland State University in the fall to study social work. This year's salutatorian is Cypress Barrett. Cypress also finished her high school career with a weighted GPA of over 4.38. In fact, you'll be hearing from Cypress in a little bit here as one of our student speakers. Cypress will be studying business at the Lundquist College of Business at the University of Oregon. Congrats to both Sierra and Cypress. Lastly, I'd like to present the Principal's Award. Typically, this is an award that we present at our senior scholarship, senior awards night. But of course, we didn't hold that event this year, so I decided to present it here today instead. This award is presented to a student who exemplifies what it means to be a Molalla High School graduate. This particular student has had a tremendous 4 years at MHS. She's a top-notch student. She's had great attendance. She's had great success as an athlete. She's been involved in a range of student activities. More than anything else, this student is kind, caring, generous, and it's truly a joy to be around. This year's Principal's Award goes to Annalise Hugo. Annalise, please come forward and accept the award. With that, it's time to turn to our student speeches. You've already heard a welcome from our senior class president, Lola McElhaney. During today's ceremony, we're going to have the opportunity to hear from 3 additional students. At this time, I'd like to introduce the first of our student speakers, Haley Bell. Next year, Haley will be attending the University of Oregon to study business administration.
Thank you, Mr. Brzezinski. It is my honor today to deliver a speech dedicated to the people who have inspired, guided, and motivated us to grow and learn every single day for the last 4 years. This speech is dedicated to the staff members of Molalla High School. Sorry, I'm a little emotional. Us seniors are all 18 or turning 18 soon. Out of our 18 years of life, at least 13 of them have been in the presence of educators. In these 13 years, we start to take these people for granted, despite how influential they've been in our lives. There is a quote by Henry B. Adams, to which he states, "A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops." Throughout these 4 years, I have met several teachers who have been so supportive and influenced me in a way that will stick with me for the rest of my life. The sad part is that they never give themselves enough credit because changing students' lives is an everyday occurrence for them. In my speech today, I would like to directly thank a few teachers who have changed my life. First, I would like to thank the teacher who has seen me grow for the last 4 years. Ms. Zeal. Oh. You have been far more than a homeroom teacher to me. In fact, you're the person who made me believe in myself enough to be attending the University of Oregon this fall. Freshman year, you asked us all to write down our goals. Sorry. I remember writing not what my aspirations were, but what I thought was realistic. As I was reading my list, I stated that I would probably attend community college, and you just stopped me and asked why. I told you there's no way I'd be able to afford university. You laughed and cut me off immediately to tell me not to worry about that. You encouraged me to shoot for what I truly wanted to do, which was attend University of Oregon. And you also ensured me I would be able to attend without the financial stress. Well, you were right. You completely changed my mindset that day and set me up for success for the rest of high school. The day I received the email congratulating me on becoming a Ford Scholar, you were the first person I thought of. Thank you. I would also like to thank another teacher who's been in my life for many years, Mr. Ferris. If I had to think of one word to describe you and your teaching, it would be encouraging. No matter how out of tune I was or how much I struggled with my solos, you always told me I was doing great. You encourage all of your students and see the best in every single individual. That's truly an amazing quality, and I hope you give yourself credit for that. Thank you. I have so much to say to this next teacher, but there's a time limit. So I would just like to say thank you, Miss Melton, for always giving me a place to eat lunch. That 30 minutes of the day shouldn't be a time where students are stressing, knowing there's not a single seat saved for them. I used to spend the entire lunch period looking for anywhere that I could sit, and I'd never even end up eating. So thank you for lifting that stress and always being so supportive. You have always listened to me and guided me into a more positive outlook on life. You are a teacher I will truly never forget. Mrs. McKenzie, you've helped me so much, especially this year. At the beginning of this year, when I was going through quite a bit, you just let me vent, and that's what I needed more than anything. Playing with the mini sandbox and helping you decorate your office was something so simple, but it really helped me move past my struggles in life and just not have so much stress for once. You really got me through a very, very difficult time. Thank you for always making me laugh when I needed it most. Mrs. Brockmiller, you are another extremely supportive person. You genuinely care about listening to every single student and getting to know them. When I had your class this year, I talked to you about what was going on in my life, and at that point I was working 7 days a week, 64 hours a week. You could have chosen the route of just telling me to work less, but instead you didn't even question it. That meant a lot to me because you didn't even need a reason from me. You just cared enough that you understood that I was going through something, and you helped me get through that class. You also always have such a bright smile on your face that is so encouraging to all of us. Simply just sitting in your classroom always lifted my mood. So thank you for always radiating the most kind energy around the school. Mr. Balstead, I only have ever had you as a teacher for one class, but that class meant a lot to me. It's a common thing for students to sit in a class, study whatever they need for the test, and forget it all right after. Your class was one of the only classes where I walked away with knowledge on every single topic and a really deep understanding. You don't stress your students out, and therefore you leave a lot of room for them to learn so much more than what they'll need for the test. It seems that even the students who frequently skip classes always seem to make it to yours, and I think that says a lot about you as a teacher. The next person I would like to thank is our registrar, Miss Deal. I get so excited whenever I get to come to your office for something. The chocolates on your desk and the oils in your diffuser create such a welcoming environment. Thank you for always brightening my day and always being there whenever I'm in need of a smile. The last person I would like to thank is Mr. Brzezinski. I want you to know it's extremely apparent how much you care about this school. You have been so helpful and always get any question of mine answered. Sometimes you reply to my email before I even have a chance to exit out of Gmail. You also make an effort to actually know your students and greet them in the hallways every single day. Our school is so lucky to have you, and I really hope you recognize that. I do not have enough time to thank every single teacher that has impacted my life, but I would like to thank the entire staff of Molalla High School for going beyond the lessons, the textbooks, and the grades. Each and every one of you is highly appreciated, and I promise your efforts do make a change. Before I close this speech today, I would like to address the class. First, I encourage you all to think of at least one teacher who has impacted your life in a positive way. After graduation today, or whenever you get a chance, please email that teacher and let them know you appreciate them. They sacrifice so much for us, and they deserve to hear a thank you. I would also like to add that high school is an amazing experience for some people, while a terrible experience for other people. If high school was an amazing experience for you, I am so happy for you, and I hope you leave here today and go live an absolutely amazing life. If high school wasn't so great for you, please keep holding on. It's only 4 years, and they're now over. You have so much life ahead of you, and you really do have the power to make all your dreams come true. I promise you things will get better. I believe whether or not you had a great high school experience or a terrible one really says nothing about what you can do with your future. So please, let's take this amazing opportunity to learn from these 4 years and go live our best lives.
Great job, Haley. Thank you. I would now like to introduce our second student speaker, Cypress Barrett. Cypress earned the title of salutatorian this year, and as I mentioned already, she'll be studying business at the Lundquist College of Business at the University of Oregon. Cypress.
I've always hated graduation speeches. They're much too cheesy for my taste, full of artificial motivational quotes and promises to change the world. So I'm going to do everything I can to avoid that and just speak frankly with you all. Obviously, we got the short end of the stick. We were all just going about our lives, getting ready for our junior prom, and finishing up finals when the world stopped, and it hasn't really started back up again. So you should all be proud of yourselves for making it through the past year and getting here. There is no experience that can be compared to what we have gone through. But now we have to step into the next chapter of our lives, even though this one feels entirely incomplete. Even though this pandemic took a lot away from us, one thing it did give us the chance to do is grow. I've always filled my time with hobbies and activities, so when the pandemic hit, I took time to myself that I never really had before. I was able to reflect on what actually made me happy and eliminate the things that didn't from my life, and it looks decidedly different now. Our lives have such a quick pace, and we are often shamed for slowing down and taking time for ourselves to just do something we enjoy. And the shutdown forced us all to do just that. And a lesson we can take from this painful time are the skills of self-reflection and self-care. We must take this into our future. And as we go forward, I urge you to all consider this opportunity we had to rebalance our lives. And remember to always separate your work and your life, because one is only part of the other. Now, if I were giving one of those sappy speeches, this is where I would say, 4 years ago, I never could have imagined myself doing this, which is a line I've used a few more times than I'd like to admit in my high school. But in this case, it would be a total lie. Even 4 years ago, I knew that I loved speaking in front of people and that I wanted to do something like this. But I wasn't sure that I actually could. But in the time that I've been at Molalla High School, I've been able to convince myself that I am able to do whatever I decide to do. My main goal during my time here was to grow my comfort zone, and I did just that. I've had opportunities that I never could have expected that have led me to travel across the country and meet people that have changed my life. They have opened doors for my future that will allow me to continue to grow my comfort zone in the future. And I will forever be grateful to Molalla High School and my teachers and friends who have always been there for making me capable of doing it. This community has dealt with a lot this year. I don't have to list it all out for you. But one thing that we all experienced together was the wildfires last fall. As I was evacuating, I didn't have time to grab much. So I grabbed some awards, my favorite books, and some old photographs. While I was staying at a friend's, I looked through the photographs that I had taken. Many of them were the only copies left. As I looked through the moments that had been captured, I considered that I would never see many of the people in them again, whether I had lost them this year or before. While I remembered my family looking at their photos, I didn't think back on particular situations. All I could remember was how I felt when I was with them. In this time of utter distress and fear, I looked down and I realized that the way I make those around me feel is more important than anything I could ever say or do. I've spent the past 4 years with you all, and I hope that you remember me as someone who made these years better. We definitely didn't get the high school experience that we signed up for, but without everything that has happened, we would not have the resilience, the confidence, or the capacity for growth that we have now. I'm glad to say that I genuinely enjoyed the past 4 years with you all, even with everything we lost. I've watched you all grow tremendously over that time, and all I hope for you is that the next time I see you, you have grown into the happiest version of yourself. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
Hey, Preston. At this time, choir members, please come forward to the stage. I'd like to introduce Mr. Friesen and our award-winning Social Airs Choir. They will be singing I Want You Back, ABC, arranged by Mark Breimer.
to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always make you stand out in a crowd. When someone picked you from the branch, a lens is all it took.
Now it's much too late for me
To take a second look. Oh, baby, give me one more chance to show you that I love you. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, darling, I was blind to let you go.
Let you go, baby.
But now, since I see you in his arms, I want you back. I do now. I want you back.
Ooh, ooh, baby.
I want you back. Yeah, 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 yeah. I want you back. Hey, hey, now, now.
Went to school to learn, girl, things you never knew before.
I before E, except after C.
Why 2 + 2 is 4.
Now,
I'm gonna teach you
teach you
all about love.
all about love. Sit yourself down and take a seat. All you gotta do is repeat after me. A, B, C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Simple as do, re, mi. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Baby, you and me. A, B, C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Simple as do, re, mi. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Baby, you and me.
Teach ya, sing it out.
Come on, let me teach you how to sing it out. Come on, come on, come on, let me show you what it's all about. Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. A, B, C, baby. 1, 2, 3, baby. Oh, baby, give me one more chance to show you that I love you. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, darling, I was blind to let you go.
Let you go, baby.
But now, since I see you in his arms, I want you back. A, B, C. I want you back. 1, 2, 3. I want you back. Do, re, mi. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. I want you back.
Great job, social errors. I like the fact they chose a little different, maybe a less traditional graduation song this year. That was fun. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our third and final student speaker, Clay Spurl. Clay will be attending Northern Arizona University and will major in nursing. Clay?
Great moments are born with great opportunities. Good afternoon and welcome to the 4 lucky ones who got to attend, those who snuck through COVID security, and of course, the class of 2021. First off, I'd like to thank our staff and administrators, John and Hank Green from Crash Course, Snoop, Adam Norse, and of course our teachers for your constant dedication and encouragement as we progress through our years here at MHS. 4 years went by very, very fast, and they told us it would, but we didn't believe them. But here we are, 4 years later, with our square, dorky hats and oddly fitting gowns ready to go. Over the past 13 years, our class has been through so much. We were born into a world still mourning after 9/11, and then the years flew by and we entered kindergarten during one of the greatest recessions in history. We were ready for our first day of school with our backpacks cinched up as high as they could go. As we journeyed through our first 5 years of this government-required education, some of us were making lifelong friends, while others were too busy learning real-life skills, such as debating whether to buy a poster or a $6 invisible ink pen from the book fair. And then we progressed to, the most developmental years of our life. I think the only thing that stuck with me from those years was my embarrassing Snapchat username, Clayster55. And then we hit high school and officially became the MHS class of 2021. As we progressed through the years, we lost some along the way. Some because high school just wasn't for them. Some because they wanted to quickly move on to greater and better things. And one who left us against her own will, who was loved by so many. Our class has been through so much. As I was writing this speech, I was trying to think of a story in my life where I overcame, and maybe, just maybe, it would motivate you for a few moments following the ceremony. As I sat there thinking, I remembered back to March 12th, when we thought all would be normal, and now we had no idea what laid ahead. I sat there thinking about all the challenges we overcame, from not being able to see our friends and classmates, to the long Zoom classes, to even the top-of-the-line Chromebooks that the school provided. We were first told that it would only last 2 weeks, and then it got extended to the end of the year. We heard about how the class of 2020 was ripped off because they lost their graduation, and we sat there with no prom, no football games, no sports seasons, no senior year. And then it got extended further, and the challenge to overcome the battle to roll over in bed and listen to an hour and 20-minute Zoom lecture for something that we would hardly or frankly never understand became even more challenging. But you know what? With all the odds against us, all the adversity, hate, hopelessness, depression, anxiety, and disappointment, we experienced and endured, we persevered, and most importantly, we came out on the other side. This past year, we overcame a pandemic, divided cultures are now facing limitations that we would have never imagined. Even through these challenges, we had the opportunity to grow up in this amazing town with such an amazing community. On top of it all, we raised almost $500,000 for families in need within our community, which leads us here today. And I just hope through this experience, you as well as administrators realize that schooling and education is not just about the learning, but the community and the people you surround yourselves with who all have a similar purpose. We are a mosaic of those around us. Throughout my high school career, I've had several stressful as well as physically and mentally draining experiences, whether that be participating in and coordinating a month-long fundraiser and waiting until the last minute to write the total on the check, to staying up until 4 a.m. cooking pasta for my Food New final, to probably the most true of all, track. As I worked through these challenges, I want to share 4 words that stuck with me: commitment, connection, passion, and the future. Commitment. In whatever you do, commit. Put your all into it and have no regrets. Because trust me, the worst feeling is missing out, knowing you had more left. And lead with your heart. There are so many different ways to be brilliant. So commit, even if it feels different than the norm, because breaking the norm, thinking outside the box, defying the naysayers is the only way to make change and move forward. I realized something about when life starts. We have always been told that life will start when we graduate high school. And while it may be true that life will open up with endless possibilities, life doesn't start when we receive our high school diploma, which we will receive here in a few moments. Life doesn't start when we get that new job. Life doesn't even start when we get married. After I received my cap and gown, I thought, what next? What comes next in this unknown path of life? The reality is, life already started. Life began 18 years ago for us. My track coach would always tell us, the way that you win a race is to start your kick even when nobody is watching, or even when you are in complete no man's land, because that is your choice. But it is our choice to make the decision to start living our life to our fullest potential. I think for many of us, this pandemic made us realize how quickly things pass by and can be taken away from us. So stop overthinking, stop thinking how others will perceive you, stop trying to fit into people you think are cool, and live your life, your passion. Number 2, connection. The relationships you have are more valuable than any job, grade, or status you will ever receive. The people you have spent your last 4 years with have shaped you into the person you are today. And the relationship you develop with your family, well, that is priceless. Passion. As Oprah Winfrey said, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you, not your mom or dad or socioeconomic status, you. Find your passion and pursue it. Future. College and trade schools are just around the corner, and we will be separating really very soon. But before we go off on our own paths, I'd like to share one story from my high school career. It happened right over there at the 1,500 meter start line. For those of you who don't know, I've been a long distance track athlete for over 4 years now. The day before each race, my coach would have the team and I lay down, eyes closed, deep breaths, and visualize. During this time, the coach would tell us a story about some athlete he taught that left a mark, and would talk in detail about how we should be more like this athlete. One time, Coach added a special remark that stays with me to this day. Every time after I was on the start line, his words would rush through my head. He added, "This is your moment. Take advantage of it. Class of 2021, this is your moment to leave your mark. So commit to your passion, connect with others, and well, for the future, that is up to you." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clay. Now that we've heard from 3 of our students, I'd like to introduce one of our teachers to give this year's staff address. It's important for you to know that our seniors were given the opportunity to vote for the staff member that they wanted to serve as their graduation speaker. There was great support for the individual I'm about to introduce. Please welcome Mrs. Haley Zeal.
Hello, graduates. I have loved being your teacher. One of the reasons I love teaching freshman English is because I get to see your growth over 4 years, and I feel so honored to have taught many more of you beyond freshman year in creative writing, or simply having small, meaningful conversations with you in the hallway through your time at MHS. And I feel especially grateful to have had the time with my homeroom students who are in this group every third period for the last 4 years. All of you really are a sight to see in your robes today. I know you are a group who has concern for the world beyond your own experience, and I love that about you. You care about the well-being of your family, your community, your city, state, nation, and the world. And I also know that that concern can lead to anxiety and can sometimes even feel debilitating when there are problems that seem so large that you feel that your own actions and words cannot begin to solve them. So I want to offer you a moral dilemma I heard recently to help you frame this later in your life. Imagine you're walking past a lake, and there's a person who is drowning who needs your help. You can swim, you can save them. Do you? Of course you do. Now let's add some complexity. There's another lake on your other side with another person who needs you to save them. You can't save them both in time, but does that stop you from saving one? No. You save the one, and you mourn over the one you couldn't save, but it shouldn't stop you from taking some action, because that action you took to the person you saved is everything. It doesn't feel as joyful or as complete as if you only had the one to save and you accomplished that. It's not simple, it's complex, but it still made a difference. I hope you'll think of our large-scale problems with the same mindset. 1 million people making millions of purposeful, positive differences in their lifetimes can lead to large-scale progress. I've seen you do this in your 4 years at MHS with Share the Love. 1,000 people making thousands of decisions and actions, leading to a large-scale impact that couldn't happen by the work of any one person. 1 million people making millions of positive differences in their lifetime can lead to large-scale progress. So I hope that you can become one of those people adding to the current of positive change, and don't let the grandness of a problem stop you from acting in small but meaningful ways. Yes, there are huge problems to solve, but I wouldn't bet against you. As a teacher of you fine humans, I have learned that your group is full of empathy, which makes you wise. Some people actually fear empathy and optimism. They misjudge empathy for weakness and optimism for naivete. I wholeheartedly disagree. Empathy is wisdom. Think of how much is required for you to feel empathy for another human. You're considering their perspective while reading their expressions, body language, tone of voice, choice of words, what's not said, what's not shown. You're noticing all of this at the same time and taking it in order to feel that empathy. It's so much harder than judgment. It's complex. It takes curiosity. It takes observation and analysis and courage to have empathy like you do. Optimism isn't naive. A cynic sees a problem and thinks, what can be done? Why even try? Optimists would ask, what can be done? With curiosity, which allows them to see and consider many divergent options. I've seen you practice this type of thinking in my classroom and in other classes and clubs at MHS with such collaborative ease that often makes me wish that all the world could see what I see each day. I've seen you raise over $120,000 in a month during a pandemic. I wouldn't bet against you. I've seen you have courageous and uncomfortable conversations in my classroom, listen and consider each other's perspectives, even when you disagree, even about politics, discrimination, subjects that are minefields of emotion and reasoning. Again, I wouldn't bet against you. I've seen you take responsibility and tell the truth, even when it was really hard. I've seen you apologize and mean it, show concern for characters in books we read that wasn't shown 10 years ago, and even characters that are extremely hard to love. Again, I wouldn't bet against you. I have hopes for your adult life, and they're not necessarily all about your future careers. I hope that you take good care of your family and your friends. I hope you are curious and kind. I hope you communicate with strength and nurture the relationships in your life, that you build up the people around you. When you see problems, I hope that you can work towards solutions. I hope you laugh a lot, that you contribute positively to the culture created at your work, and especially the culture of your own home. And I hope you practice gratitude. My colleagues and I often talk about how working with you has made us better people, even better parents. I've often had the thought, wow, I hope I can raise my sons to be as dedicated as Lisbeth, as curious as Blake, as resilient as Jocelyn, as patient as Alina, as calm as Felix, as engaged as Stephen, as compassionate as Daniela, with Zach's positive energy, Humberto's loyalty, Melvin's style, Nico's interest, Jillian's passion, Sarah's strength, Cypress's level-headedness, Ariana's motivation, Justin's divergent problem solving, Jenna's bravery, Quincy's sense of humor, Fatima's sense of justice, Jackie's work ethic, Lola's ability to articulate, Alexia's power of observation, Aldo's sense of competition, Holly's optimism, Jamin's smile, Noah's boldness, Tony's dance moves, Annalise's enthusiasm, Katrina's sense of adventure with the wisdom of Odalise, the intelligence of Sierra, the selflessness of Catherine, and the courage of Faith. I'm incredibly grateful for the time we've had together in the halls of MHS, and I am grateful that my career gives me such a sense of hope and perspective through these interactions with you that I feel the need to shout from the rooftops that kids these days are capable and powerful. And I pass the baton to you now in hopes that you will support younger generations in the same way, no matter how different they may seem to you. So congratulations to you, the class of 2021. We will miss you dearly, and we are so incredibly proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Eel, for those powerful words. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Ferris and our wind ensemble. They'll be performing Cumberland Cross by Carl Stroman. Ms. Ferris, band members, thank you very much. So yeah, senior members of the band, go ahead and take your original seat again. At this time, we'll get to what you've all been waiting for and begin the presentation of the diplomas. All of our students have worked extremely hard to get to this day. Now, usually at this point, I'd ask you to hold your applause until all graduate names have been called. Would you listen, though, when I ask you to do that? You would not. You would not. So, we're going to change things up this year. Feels to me like each of these students deserves some applause. So instead of asking you to hold your applause, I'm going to ask instead, after each student name is read, go ahead and give that student some applause. Now, we don't want to be here for hours. I see some of you fanning yourselves. The black robes are getting hot. Hey, keep it within reason. Give some applause, then settle back in for the next student name, please. Fair enough? All right. Graduate names will be presented today by myself and Associate Principals Dr. Sarah Bean and Mrs. Kristen Rott. Diplomas will be presented to students by the Molalla River School District Board of Directors. With that, please welcome Dr. Bean as she leads us in the presentation of the diplomas.
All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Parents, are you ready? Good. We are ready. Jeremiah Daniel Asland. It's good to be first sometimes. Mary Angera Abau. Brianne Michelle Apple. Aldo Avila Alaves. Nash Kiefer Bailey. Ainsley Jessica Ball. Roman Andrew Baltazar. Cypress Rianne Barrett. Francisco Bautista. Alyssa Jean Beatty. Haley Cherie Bell. Lisbeth Beteran Munoz. Emerson May Burley. Samantha Jewel Blackman. Tyler Scott Blank. Lane Riley Bloom. Nicholas George Beam. Caden R. Borland. Abby Elizabeth Briley. Nadine Diane Burley. Ludmila Burkoff. Jaden Patrick Burns. Catherine Bouchon. Brianna Ray Byrne Groshong. Marta Cabrera Gordillo. Tasman Marie Calhoun. Mason K. Calhoun West. Humberto Cobian Cortez. Benjamin Thomas Corbin. Chloe Ann Corliss. Emma Cortez. Ariana Cortez Giron. Joshua Gabriel Cowan. Katrina Isabel Cozine. Katen Elizabeth Curry. Hannah Diane de la Cruz. Evan Watson Deerdorf. Talon Aiken Delmore. Brianna DeSano. Jamin Dobbs Mathry. Nolan Joel Dorgan. Alan Mark Deuce. Marty V. Igoroff. Anthony Garcia Erlinger. Caden D. Eves. Sky Fackrell. Alina Sonia Alaska Felt. Zachary Farrell. Colby Finley. Isabel Jo Fryo. Lisette Fragoso Navarro.
Felix Benjamin Garcia. Don't forget that. Fatima Garcia Ariano. Sylvia Marie Gomez. Jose Gomez. Paige Gump. Odalise Gutierrez Sanchez. Brooke Lynn Hamilton. Brandon James Harrington. Zach Henry. Sira Hira de Frutos. James Hogan. Gabriel Garrett House.
We made it, guys! I love you!
Zachary Christopher Hubner. Natalie Ray Huff. Annalise Jane Hugo. Congrats. Chance Jackson. Israel Jarquin Paleo. Rusty Dale Johnson III. Kira Ann Knox. Ryan J. Kylo. Devin Ozzy Earl Kruger. Brady John Lucino. Jenna Phyllis Langendorfer. Trista Nicole Larson. Olivia Faith Lenhart. Ethan Thomas Lister. Justin Louder. Carmen Lujan Varea. Madeline Starr Mabin. This year, the class of 2021 lost a beloved classmate, Faith Ann Marr. We'll be presenting an honorary diploma to Faith. At this time, please join me in observing a moment of silence in Faith's memory. Thank you. Lola Grace McElhaney. Taryn Shay Claire McIntosh. Larry Thomas Mellon. Adamaris Mendoza. Anthony Ezekiel Mendoza Salazar. Derek Merton. Catherine Midkiff. Daniela Marone Herrera. Talon Gabriel Mitchell. Lane Morris. Sergio Gabriel Mota. Jeanette Faye Elizabeth Mueller. Quincy Lee Muffett. Noel Munoz Asensio. Stephen Musella. Give me one more stack as I'm transferring out here.
Hannah Marie Nelzine. Caleb Nicholas. Blake Olson. Gavin Wallace Olson. Leo Ethan Orchard. Dakota Lane Orfield. Jacqueline Parker. Jillian Elizabeth Pelham. Jessica Lorraine Peters. Cordelia Ann Peterson. Mason Alec John Pritchard. Jennifer Puga. Holly Nicole Ray. Calicia Louise Rayburn. Kaylee Reagan. Carissa Robinson. Nathan Andrew Rogers. Andrew Lee Rodriguez. Alex Jose Rojas. Juan Jesus Rojas Gasca. Haley May Rose Strivens. Noah Jefferson Roth. Alexia Sagun Ochoa. Alicia Marie Salazar. Carlos Salcido. James Benjamin Sanders III. Grayson Sansusi. Zachary Levi Schultz. Matthew Hayden Schwartz. Kathy Guadalupe Serrano Jacobo. Clay Riley Spurl. Natalie Grace Stearns. Sarah Anne Marie Taylor Baker. Trenton Allen Totten. Jocelyn Marlene Urenia Gomez. Autumn McKenna Walkie. Janelle Leanne Waters. Julia Abby Watson. Caden Ezra Weber. Sierra Michelle White. Kyle Robert Wilson. Bradley Edward Wright.
How do I take this thing?
Caden Allen Zagala. Melvin Zazueta.
Molalla High School class of 2021, will you please stand? Please, please move your tassels from right to left. Members of the audience, faculty, and honored guests, as the principal of Molalla High School, I certify that these students have met the requirements set forth by the Molalla River School District to receive a high school diploma. Students, I now declare you graduates of Molalla High School. Congratulations.